Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the very first TotalSUP podcast. It took us a while to move into that podcast space, but finally here we are, and never say never. It's all thanks to Christian Taucher, my co-host, who's here with us today, and who will be at every TotalSUP podcast every week, every other week or every month. We haven't decided yet what we're going to do with this, but we have to start somewhere. And Christian Taucher is the very well-known powerhouse from Austria. I don't know how many Austrian titles he's got. I lost count at 30 or something. It's probably twice that now. But Christian is basically very much involved in the SUP world, and especially in the SUP racing scene. And he's been a good friend for many years, and we decided to go ahead with this podcast. The aim of which is to share a lot of knowledge that we don't get to share through articles or through social media posts. And the idea is to be very spontaneous and opinionated, a bit more opinionated than on TotalSUP.com, which is basically a media used for the promotion of the sport, and always very positive. So let's try and get into the gritty subjects a little bit too. Christian Taucher, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Mathieu, for having me. This was on my wish list for a while to put on a podcast. But because it's so much going on, also during the race events, during the weekends, so many things are happening, which are almost unknown because of nobody's transporting it, nobody's talking about it. And there's also no real platform which is supposed to do that, to show it to the people. So actually, this is the things to go into details at the event. This is, but also to have an overview over the seasons, to have informations which you provide already over your website, and also to dive a little bit deeper into the real sport of stand-up paddling, because this is the main topic I am working on.
Absolutely, and I would like to talk about straight away your little venture, which has been going on for quite a while right now, but which is getting some muscles this year. SUP Training. You're not just an athlete, but you're also a coach, and this year in particular, you're really pushing that coaching method big time. Can you tell us how it works, what you do, who you work with, and so on?
Yeah, that's pretty simple. So actually, I'm a sports scientist. I was working at the university for a long time, and I always trained a few athletes just to be curious about the things in theory, what you're hearing, what you're working on, and so on. I was also teaching then at the university, and so actually, I was working with triathletes. I was working with runners, swimmers, with mountain bikers, and so on. And actually, my first approach was, when I entered the sport of stand-up paddling, to have a scientific approach, to learn how to train for stand-up paddling. And there was actually nothing at this time, So this is what I tried then, and I covered up with a lot of other coaches, and tried to figure out how it can work. And yeah, in the end, now I'm pretty confident to have not the one training program, but a knowledge about the full sport of stand-up paddle training, and I share it. I share it like that, but I also provide personalized training plans, so everyone can hit me up and ask for a training plan. If you train more than 3 times a week, let's say, below that it doesn't matter what you're training, more or less, but more than 3 times a week, then it starts to be interesting, and then you start to plan your training, and this is what I do. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so where can we find the information? Online?
It's www.sup.training. So this is very simple. Also, the name of the company is the same. So sup.training.
Okay.
You also find it on social media and so on.
You actually have the ending of your URL ending with training.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's pretty
You can buy
Pretty
that,
good
yeah.
marketing too. Well done. So SUP Training, Christian Taucher, and
Yeah,
we're going to be your co-host of this TotalSUP podcast, which is an unofficial name right now. We actually need a name for this podcast, brought to you
absolutely.
by TotalSUP and SUP Training. So you're
Yeah,
all invited to make suggestions, be creative, send us DMs or write in the commentaries
yes.
what you want to this podcast to be called. We'll be discussing your ideas, and we'll next time we go online, we will have a name, a proper name for this brand new podcast. Um,
Absolutely. So
Obviously,
let's be creative. Send us some ideas. We are curious about your ideas, what you're coming up with. Pretty sure some fun ones, but I think also some serious ones, and we will pick one for sure. So Mathieu, tell me about the plan for today.
all right. So for our very first podcast, we are obviously end of March right now. The season is about to start, so I thought that it would be a good idea to introduce the season ahead. Obviously, there are hundreds of events worldwide, all kinds of events. So for this very first one, as we are just a few days away from the spring SUP race, which is, I guess, officially the very first international SUP race event of the season. Obviously, I'm not forgetting that we had an international event in January in Düsseldorf as part of the Euro Tour, but I would tend to say this is an off-season event. I would like to I tend to say that the season usually starts with the spring SUP race, and it's been a while like this for a while now, and that's in Comacchio, Italy, and it's stop number one of the ICF circuit. So I thought it would be a good idea to present the big international events of the year, and there are plenty of novelties in this space. With it seems to be it's the same story as ever. Two federations, two blocks, having major events, especially this year with an official launch. I mean, last year was more of a pilot year for the European Surfing Federation, but basically they introduced the European SUP League. And this circuit is going to occupy a major space on the international racing scene, on TotalSUP for sure, because we're covering every event. And that's on the surfing side. And on the canoe side, with the ICF, but also with the European Canoe Association, now called Paddle Europe, there's a string of events, of major events. And luckily, apart from one date, they don't conflict too much with each other. So it sounds like we're going to have a massive year with two major federations um, organized properly to not step on each other's toes, and delivering what we hope, fingers crossed, are going to be amazing events starting next week, or at the end of the week, actually, with the Spring Snow Race in Comacchio. What do you think
Yeah,
about that? So,
I
Christian.
think I think, or as I understand, you have like actually four federations then, not only two. When we talk about the European and the World federations, these are actually separate federations who are working together. They have contract with each other, but they are working separately. It's not the same persons. That's really interesting. And so you deal actually, you as an expert, you as a promoter and presenter there at the events, you're dealing with different teams, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a very good point there, Christian. People tend to think that when they speak to their national federation or their European federation, whether it's canoe or surf, they tend to think it's all streamlined, and there's a clear authority between the national federation, the European federation, and the international federation. And I can tell you from being behind the curtains a lot that it's not the case at all. They give each other a few phone calls once in a while, but the partnership is not always so obvious, which basically, in terms of rendering, sometimes we have some strange facts, like a European event or national event happening at the same time as a major international event from supposedly the same discipline federation, so surf or canoe.
Yeah, we
But
had this
you're
before.
absolutely
Mathieu, we had this before. When you think about the Paris SUP race, there was always like this huge mass participation race, which was for everyone. And then additionally, in the same race, there was the APP, you know. And so you had like two races in one race, you know, and you were not able to sign up for the APP, but you get like an invitation or something. But at the same time, you were able to participate in the amateur race, which was the normal Paris SUP race or SUP Open, what was called.
Actually, that happens a lot when you have international events which are branded by circuits, but happens to have 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 different labels. On the calendar this year, we have an Italian event, which is part of the 2 Italian federations, surf and canoe, but also the European SUP League, for instance. So, depending on which angle you come from, you have the same event, sometimes presented with a different naming, which brings even more confusion. We're actually here to decode all of that and hopefully bring some information. But
Okay, cool.
I would like to start with the European SUP League. This is a topic that I've spent quite a bit of time with in this first part of the year, talking to most players involved in this new league, and people are confused. Some people can be confused. Despite all the articles and posts that we published last year, plus there are so many events or circuits with the term Euro. So we have EuroSUP, which is the European championship under the European Surfing Federation. We have the Euro Tour, obviously, which has been going on for more than 10 years. And has been occupying the central stage on the European scene so far. And now we have the European SUP League. So the European SUP League basically was introduced a bit as a last-minute circuit last year, but the organizers or the founders of this circuit had to start with something. And they decided to basically line up four events, 3 in Spain, 1 in Portugal, to launch a new circuit, but with the backup, and that's very important because it's probably their number one feature in their DNA, is that they have the certification of the European Surfing Federation. So they are a European circuit which delivers European titles. And that little fact, not so little, is a big game changer. Because and actually, having spoken to several event organizers, they didn't realize how much of a game changer it was. But as soon as they turned to their town hall, region, country for subsidy, as soon as they presented the official certification of the European Surfing Federation, boom, they had a bit more money, or they were taken a bit more seriously than before. It also helped athletes to get sponsorship or official national recognition in their country. So to deliver European Surfing Federation titles throughout the season, and obviously at the end of the season, is the first under the European Surfing Federation, apart from obviously the European Championship. The last one happened in 2023 in Peniche, Portugal, and it will happen again this year in Melilla in October.
So just to unwrap this, how to get the European Championship title this year in the Surfing Federation? Do you have to attempt all the tour or only one event?
It's a number of events that you have to take part out of six. So it's six events in total in 5 different countries. Two events in Spain. I think you have
Yes.
to attend 4 events. The top 4 events are actually scored. I will not speak on behalf of the European SUP League. They have everything printed on their website. You can
Yeah.
actually follow all the guidelines, all the rules. And that's another thing that I want to pinpoint is that they are really well organized. If I have lots of great things to say about the European SUP League. Why? Because I attended all 4 European SUP League events last year. So I was behind the mic, but I could see firsthand what they are doing well, what they're not doing so well. And I have to say I was impressed. So in a nutshell, this is what I could say. First of all, it's not a one person behind the European SUP League. Unlike the APP World Tour associated with Tristan Boxford or the Euro Tour associated with Pilar Diaz. Many people think Daniel Pares from Santa Pola, from Alicante in Spain, is the boss of the European SUP League.
European Surfing.
It's not the case. His name comes up a lot, obviously because he's a prominent figure in our sport. But it's a whole group of protagonists in this circuit. I think it's 5 or 6 names as co-founders, plus a heavy participation of the European Surfing Federation. So first things first, when you go to a European SUP League event, the big surprise for me was to find a table of 10 people organizing the event. And not just one person pulling the ropes and telling other people what to do.
Yeah.
Everybody is given a role. The point number 2 of this European SUP League, I would say, is the fact that they all have a lot of experience as athletes, coaches, club owners, and event organizers. So behind this circuit, we have 2 people from the Benalmádena Battle for Hercules near Malaga. We have the Santa Pola crew, mainly Daniel Pares, Javier Cantoral, that's Sergio Cantoral's dad, and Sonia. Sorry, I can't remember. Sonia Pares, I guess, if they're married. That's Daniel's partner. And a few more people. So these people have organized events for years. They coach. They actually paddle themselves, and they come from that athlete, coach, club owner point of view. So they're also involved in the SUP industry as a business, which brings some kind of professionalism to it. We talked about the European Surfing Federation certification.
Yes.
The other thing I was impressed with is how they dress visually a beach. So they really take communication seriously, whether on site, and I'm not talking about a couple of beat flags here and there, like a full visual, huge tents, lanes for technical races, and CF style, basically lanes,
Yeah, I understand. But this was
and
always
all
the
kinds of
case.
visual
They were always good. Mathieu, this was always good organized by the ISA. When you went to the events, this marketing, this venue, how they created everything, how they set everything up, this was always looking nice. Huh? You remember, I was also participating in European championships from the European Surfing Federation, but also in the ISA, in the International Surfing Federation, in the World Championships. This was always looking very nice. It was looking beautiful, It was like professional. It was good, Um, you can talk about participation and so on and the rules, but the events were looking beautiful. This was always the point, and I think
And
this is one of the main things they took over also in the European SUP League now.
absolutely, absolutely, and it makes also a difference for the athletes because they
Yes.
feel valued. They feel
Yes.
that they're actually taking part in something big.
Yes.
Just the way things are visually organized.
So just a
And talking about
question,
community, yeah, tell me.
Mathieu, can you just go there and participate? Is it possible for everyone, or do you need a stamp from your federation, from your national federation to go there, or
Alors,
qualify or something?
all right, so you actually don't need a stamp, but you need to join the European Surfing Federation with a one-off fee of 20 euros, I believe, to be part of the European SUP League ranking, the ESL ranking. So this
Okay.
is a one-off fee for the year, wherever you come from, and whether or not you're affiliated to the Surf Federation or the Canoe Federation. Obviously, I will
Okay.
not go into the details country by country.
No,
We
no, but
hear stories of national federations blocking the access to the other federations, international events, and so
yeah,
on. I
stupid
don't think
stuff. I
that's
know.
a very
Yeah,
good thing. I think we'll have a podcast just for that one
yeah. We can talk about it. Of
at
course, a
some
lot of
point.
experience with stuff like that. But one thing which is really important is, and that's what's the difference between this official European Surfing Federation events and the Euro Tour or other events which are privately organized, is that actually athletes, professional athletes, can get foundings from their national federations for this. Because in some countries, stand-up paddling is an ISA sport. Not in every country, but in some countries, and they have for example, Austria, it's a ISA, stand-up paddling is ISA. So actually, when we apply for founding at the government for athletes, for professional athletes, then you can apply for the European SUP League now. This was not possible before because there were no events, It was like only the APP, and this was like already the World Cup. So let's call it World Cup. It was like ISA style, the professional tour of the ISA. So it's now we have like really a European thing, and this is from the sports politics side, and also for professional athletes, it's a pretty big step because they get foundings, and this is so important. If you want to train professionally, you need that actually.
Well, I personally hope that politics are not going to keep athletes from joining whatever events, really, whether it's
Ah,
a surfing event, surfing federation event, or canoe federation event. Um, but yeah, this one-off fee is basically all officially you need to complete in order to join the official ranking.
yeah,
Let's talk about the calendar, the European SUP League calendar, and then we'll move on to ICF and potentially
absolutely.
other circuits.
Yes, let's go
Fantastic.
for it.
All right. So if you want to find all the dates, by the way, like every year, we fill in our Total SUP event calendar. So you go to TotalSUP.com, you click on events, and once you're on the event page, you have obviously the full calendar updated with hundreds of events. But you can also select the series or the circuit you want to list all the events. So you click on the drop down, select event series. And I'm going to select ESL, European SUP League. And there we've listed all the European SUP League events. So one thing that I can say about the European SUP League events for this year that I appreciate is that it's a compact circuit. April, September this year. Last year we had the last event in November, month after the first three events, the three first events, which were in April, May, June. So this year it's more compact. You have obviously the World SUP Festival Costa Blanca, which I'd like to find out if you back me up on this. I would say in terms of attendance, it's probably the second biggest international event. I guess the Lake Rocks Festival probably takes the crown in terms of attendance, athletes' attendance.
Yeah.
What's your say on this? Have you ever taken part in the World Surf Festival Costa Blanca, Christian?
No, never been there. I've been there,
No
but not
way.
at the event. Yeah. No, it was like, I don't know. It was not fitting to my plans actually, because I was working, I was not able to travel everywhere. So I never been there, but, yeah, it's absolutely a huge event. And actually in the last years, it was always happening. It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So Europeans SUP League event starts with the World Surf Festival Costa Blanca. It's the 6th edition this year.
Mm.
It's organized by Daniel Pares and his team. His team being the Pares Water Sports Club, which is, I don't know if people know that, but I would say the #1 youth club in the world, in terms of kids who are paddling SUP as their main sport several times a week, and now producing some world champions, as we saw in they had junior world champions before, with Sergio Cantoral being 2-time junior world champion under the ICF. But last year, Sergio Cantoral won the sprint world title, and is one of many talented young athletes from this club, and now winning in the open division.
Yeah, and then
So we expect something.
Paris was world champion by himself a few times, in the masters category in the ICF. He won a few times. I think the technical race and also the
Absolutely.
long distance and different stuff. So he was a very good rider by himself. Yeah, I remember that.
And he had for a while, and maybe Peter Weidert might have taken that crown. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but he had for a while the highest number of wins in the ICF in the 50 plus men's
Yes.
division.
Yes, absolutely.
Now Peter Weidert has got many around his neck, many gold medals around his neck from Germany.
Yeah, he's crazy. That's another question. How is the age groups are going to be at the European SUP League? Is there age groups, or is it just like an open race for everyone?
Okay, so under the European SUP League, you have several age groups which are official and paddle together in the open categories, and then are sub-ranked. So
Okay.
sub-18, open division, +40, +50, and maybe +60. Double check on that one. But you also
Okay.
have an official division which is called sub-16, which races separately.
Okay, cool.
So you have sub-16 separate.
So you got
And on top
a
of that,
you got a European champion then in all the age groups.
exactly, on all from
That's
sub
cool.
16 all the way up, you have official titles, and on top of that, they have sub 8, sub 10, sub 12, sub 14
Mhm.
as promo categories. And it sounds like nothing, because we've been to many events where you have 3 kids here, 2 kids there, and in Spain, it's a whole different game. You have
Yeah.
20 sub 8, 40 sub 10, 50 sub 12. I might be exaggerating a little bit here, but there's many
Yeah.
kids, and
That's so cool.
they are really well fought for.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really cool. And if the Greek join and the French join and so on, then you have like a big group of youngsters which are popping up more and more. They're growing. So it's really good. I like that.
Absolutely, which gives us a good idea of the health of sub racing right now
Yeah.
in the world. I've never seen so many youth groups scattered around the world. 10 years ago, we had the Paddle Academy in Dana Point, California.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from the Paddle Academy in a while, actually.
No.
Mike Eisert from Dana Point. It'd
No.
be good to check on what's the Paddle
That's true.
Academy is becoming. But it was basically an example for the world to copy, as nurturing 10, 20 kids. And I actually was there in 2017 and took part in a training with them, and the level was just absolutely mind blowing. And I'm talking about kids who were 12, 13, 14. Some of them are still paddling. Anyway, now we have groups like that, maybe 30 of them around the world. Daniel Pares has got one. You've got maybe 10 different groups like that, youth groups like that in Spain. Let's not forget Laura Kedglass and
Yes.
the team
Sure.
in Mallorca, who was probably one of the early clubs to take youth groups seriously,
Yes.
youth training seriously. Then you've got 5 or 6 in Italy. You've got a few in Poland, in Greece, in the Netherlands, maybe Austria. I don't know if it's if you're pushing the sport with the kids in Austria,
No, not
but
enough. Not enough. Not enough in Austria, for sure. Not enough in Switzerland, I can tell. But there are groups like in Poland, for example, young girls and young boys are coming up. Italy, as you told, Greece, for example, also, Hungary is
yeah,
popping up more and more, So
Hungary a lot.
they are doing good work, and they are hopping on this train to
Romania,
also train it. Romania, for example. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Babu, huh? He
yeah,
was crashing the juniors last year. Yeah, yeah,
first
they're
first world champion, first junior world champion from Romania, Matei Babu,
yes,
in the spring in
yeah.
2024,
I remember that.
Sarasota.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, so
Cool.
let's stay on this European SUP League calendar. So
Sure.
24th, 25th, 6th of April, World SUP Festival Costa Blanca. That's in Santa Pola,
Hmm.
Alicante. I love the venue. If
Yeah.
I moved to Spain, I would move to Santa Pola. That's it's like the perfect little town. The beach is the main focus, and obviously you've got
Yes.
all the small restaurants, bars, tapas. It's fantastic. So big event to get started. Then I'm very excited that the weekend after, first weekend of May, and Christian, don't forget to celebrate my birthday right then, the May the 2nd. From the 1st to the 3rd of May, the European SUP League is going to Taranto.
Hmm.
Taranto with with an event organized by the Paddle Academy, or the SUP Academy Taranto.
Yes.
And that's where you have a few junior world champions already. Claudia Postiglione being the first one ever, winning 2 titles in Thailand at the age
Mhm.
of 15, and winning against Cecilia Pampinella, and taking the crown from Cecilia Pampinella, actually,
Yes.
back in 2023 in Pattaya, Thailand. And
Mhm.
basically behind Claudia, there's a group of 20 kids coached by Mario Tagarelli, one of the most involved guys in the sport. And they are based in Taranto, and they've been organizing an event called the Lido Gandoli SUP Race.
Mhm.
And it will be stop number 2 of the European SUP League. So I'm very excited to actually head to Taranto. I think you have to fly to Bari, which is 2 hours away. And we'll get to see where the likes of Claudia Postiglione, Sveva Sabato, Lisa.
Eventually,
I don't know if Lisa Venturelli is from there.
no,
Pisanelli,
I think she's from more south.
Velia Pisanelli. She was on the
Mm.
podium at the ICF last year. I was very happy for her, actually, because she's always behind Claudia and Sveva. But
Mhm.
basically, you have lots of kids there, and they're waiting for you guys to attend the event and show what how well they do in their on their home waters. So that's stop
Yes.
number 2, first to 3rd of May. Stop number 3 will be in Switzerland.
Yes. This
It's
could be
called the
interesting.
Big Paddle Festival. was called until now the Big Paddle Challenge, but basically they want to grow bigger. It's on Lake Zurich, and it's organized by someone that you probably know better than me, actually, Florian Gander,
Yeah.
who's a Swiss national, but not only. I've just found out he actually grew up in Mallorca, speaks perfectly Spanish, and he's got dual citizenship. What can you tell us about Lake Zurich? Have you been there? Have you, yeah, or in Florian, you probably know
Yeah,
him
sure,
better than
sure,
I do.
sure. Because they actually, they were running events before, so it's not a new thing for them. So they just want to set it up properly now for this season and restart more or less this actually pretty famous in the past already SUP event. And yeah, so let's see. I'm super excited how it turns out to be because the venue is wonderful and the lake is beautiful and will be really a good race, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, that's June 1921,
Yes.
Big Paddle Festival. Then the European SUP League is going to Poland the weekend after. So that's the last weekend of June. And that's the conflicting dates with the ICF, the only that I could find so far, because that's conflicting with the UK ICF World Ranking event organized in Torbay, Devon. But we'll talk about that when we go through the whole ICF event. So
Yes.
basically, the Odra Sub Cup, that's the name of the event, is organized by another, and that's what I really like about the European SUP League. That's another point. Another coach, another kids coach, Marius. If you've been attending ICF events, in particular, you've probably come across him and
Sure.
his Polish gang, Hanna
Yes.
Kaminska, and many more top names from
Yeah.
from that youth group.
Yeah.
Um,
Hanna is actually coached by SUP.Training, so she's coached by Andre Crater, which is one of our coaches. So she will improve a lot, I'm sure, because she just joined a few months ago, and yeah, she put a lot of effort and a lot of good work in her trainings. So it will be interesting to see her this season.
yeah, definitely a high-profile representative of that event in Racibórz. I have to polish my Polish, Christian.
Yeah, me too.
Racibórz is called the Odra Sub Cup. The event actually been going on for many years already, and this year it's the European SUP League event, and that's June 27, 28. Then there's a summer break, and there are two events in September. An event in Huelva, in Andalusia, so south of Spain, on the first weekend of September, the weekend of the 5th and the 6th of September. And it's actually an event, I understand, maybe I'm wrong, but I understand that it's not the Discover Huelva SUP Festival, which happens every year. That's going to happen as well, but
Yeah.
not under the European SUP League. The same organizer will create the Andalusia SUP Series under the European SUP League, first weekend of September 5 and 6. And the weekend after, last stage of the European SUP League, and that's where big checks are going to be delivered, because for every event you've got prize money, but on the last stage you have a huge pot, and that's actually something that's new. Because if you look at the Euro Tour, you have a recognition at the end of the tour, but you don't have,
A prize money for that.
correct me
Yeah,
if I'm
that's
wrong,
true.
you don't have a final prize money. So in the European SUP League, you actually have prize money at every event, and then you have a massive pot at the end of the tour. Let's bear in mind that for the European SUP League, you have all three disciplines with their own specific formats, and then overall, and that is the case for every single division. Obviously, the prize money is only for the elite open athletes. So the last stage is
one more
Portugal.
question. I have one more question in between because you're talking about prize money and all this stuff. Is it possible for a non-European athlete to join the European SUP League? can you go as a US
Yes.
American and join and win the prize money at the end, but not get European champion, I guess, or how
Uh,
is it going?
I think you've just summarized. You've just summarized it, Christian. It's like exactly like this. Anybody can join the
Okay,
European SUP League. At
that's
least
cool.
that's what Daniel Perez told me in the interview that we published yesterday.
Yeah,
So you
perfect.
check out TotalSUP.com for our interview with Daniel Perez.
Oh, I did not read
On
it yet. Yeah, I have to go
And
there and read
yeah,
it for sure.
so yeah, Suri Araki can basically come and potentially win the European SUP League, like he won the Euro Tour over the last 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah,
So yeah, so the last stage, Sesimbra. So Sesimbra is a nice little coastal town, 1 hour south of Lisboa.
yeah,
Very easy to get to. Less than 1 hour actually driving, and that's from the 11th to the 13th of
September.
September, and it will be the final stage of the European SUP League, just like last year. So that's for the European SUP League. Very exciting tour to attend, to watch. I will be at every single event, so you will be able to follow all the action, whether it's through a live stream or through behind the scene interviews and
Yeah.
stories and so on TotalSUP, Facebook, Instagram, and obviously the website.
So do they have like a broadcaster the same broadcaster for all the events, or do you couple up with
Good.
the local organizers, or how is it working?
So great question. um, they don't have yet announced a full
Live coverage.
a full official live stream for every single event.
Mm.
Last year, it was a mix of TotalSUP doing a live stream
Yeah.
or reporting live, and the local organizers having organized some well made live streams. The best one was definitely Melilla, with the Triple S Festival, with a fantastic delivery. The broadcast was really, really well done, and the conditions were amazing. So that really helped for the show over 4 days, because at the same time you have the Spanish National Championship and the European SUP League. Why Melilla is not part of the European SUP League this year? Because they organize the EuroSUP 2026. And that was announced a few days ago. So there's another European Surfing Federation event this year on top, in addition to the European SUP League, EuroSUP 2026. And that is that. Let me just be pretty clear with the dates. That is going to be from the 2nd to the 6th of October in Melilla, which is the small Spanish enclave in North Africa, so
Yeah.
bordering Morocco. But it feels like it's far, but it's really easy to get to. You have many Spanish airports flying there. You also have easy transportation from the mainland, and at a good price, if not free, in terms of boat transport and so on from by boat all the way to Melilla. So there's that coming. Obviously for the selections, for the national selections under the European Surfing Federation.
Yes. And so to round up the surfing federation year, is there any ISA stand-up paddle worlds already announced? I don't think so. Did you hear something?
No, I haven't heard anything. I will just finish answering your questions about live streams.
Yeah, sorry.
The European, no, it's I got carried away with EuroSUP. The European SUP League is being followed by a professional media agency based in Spain, who are deeply rooted in the surf world and who have got concrete connections with the TV world.
Mm.
The behind the scenes at this very moment, there are talks of taking the European SUP League to national television, not national television, to international televisions. Obviously, starting with Spain, where they have good connections, but there are also hopes of being at some point on international sports TV like Eurosport and so on. So there's a vision behind the European SUP League, and obviously a lot comes down to getting sponsorship, getting money. So it's very important that this now fully launched year works really well for the European SUP League to, at the end of the year, attract sponsorship money and make other kind of connections on the in the media world. And so there's all of that cooking behind the European SUP League, basically.
Cool.
Yeah. And
Sounds
for
great.
the ISA, no news, as you would expect.
It's what I was asking for. Yeah, ASA World still not announced. APP Tour.
No news, as you would expect, but my gut feeling, let's see if I'm right, touch wood on this one. I was very, very impressed. I mean, last year we were moaning all year about the ISA not announcing dates.
Yeah.
And for the right reasons. Obviously, athletes need to prepare. The tickets are expensive and so on. So 1.5 months before the event, we were told it was in El Salvador, in El Sunsal. The excellent delivery of the event, of the broadcast, and the huge performances and so many amazing sports stories coming out of there almost made us forget that the ISA was really late in announcing the date. So, and also the setup locally is so good that that I wouldn't be. And they've organized, I think, among all the surf disciplines under the ISA, they've organized so many world championships there. My gut feeling is that, maybe I'm wrong, but my gut feeling is that they might just. I mean, it's so easy to get there. Everything is perfectly set up to welcome any kind of competition, basically.
Yeah, and the main thing is that actually, there are only 2 participants each country, each race. So actually, you have to qualify through your national federation for it. And so there will be not a mass participation. And if there's no mass participation, then it's also not that hard to go there, If you have not 1,000 starters on the start line, but only 40, this is a completely different story then. Also with the boards, with the everything which has to be transported there, So yeah, actually this could work if they do it again, It's just a different approach, You have these ISA worlds which are like made for a very competitive field, like only 2 each nationality, which might be unfair for Spain, for example, or for, I don't know, other countries which have like 10 or 15 very, very good athletes, and not all of them can participate. Maybe all of them could be the world champion, but they are not even able to start, So, and then there is, I don't know, one guy from Austria starting there, because I was already a few times there, and I would have been, I don't know, number 11 or number 15 in Spain, or even, in years ago. So, it's a different system, it also works, but this makes it interesting for like a little bit more tropical, I don't know, locations where you not easily go there, where it might be a little bit more expensive, or all of that.
Yeah. Board logistics is definitely an issue. I mean, if it's El Salvador, better announce it now for people to just get organized, and also for the national federations to actually organize a possible selection. Because some national federations had to wait until it was announced to quickly organize a last minute selection for the event.
Absolutely, that's very hard, because you have to be like really prepared for it. You have to have like a transparent qualification system in their countries and so on. So nobody is like, I don't know, sad about, or I don't know, angry about the selection. So it's not that easy for federations too. I know it exactly, but yeah, it would be good if they announce it soon. And about the APP, I really don't know. They might do maybe some subsurfing events, which is pretty cool because nobody else is doing it. But from the SUP racing side, there was only this KPP stuff from last year, so from Korea, which is like a
Yeah.
separate race scene or race circuit in Korea, which is like part of the APP, or was part of the APP. So it will be interesting to see if there's something announced soon or not.
Yeah,
You never see.
absolutely. Well, yeah, APP World Tours is now it's been 2 or 3 years that they've gone a little bit quiet, and every year it's almost the same story. Except this year there's no big announcement. Usually you have a big announcement and then you get disappointed because what has been announced it doesn't get delivered. So
Yes.
clearly some organizing and perhaps funding, most likely funding problems on the APP World Tour side. But in that darkness, there is definitely the Korean KAPP, which managed to pull a pretty good event, which was
Sure.
organized in Seoul for the very first time last year. Prior to
Yes.
that, it was organized in Busan, but last year it was called the Seoul SUP Open. I got lucky. I was there. The international attendance was not that high. It was also announced pretty late. But it got. I had the opportunity to see the talent. Shuri Araki was taking part also, which is only Japan is only a 1 hour or 2 hour hop from by plane or to Seoul. Um, and I came out of this event last year thinking that maybe this could be the start of an Asian summer, for a summer European um, circuit, which could be which could line up, 2, 3, 4 events all packed together between what Shuri Araki and his dad Taku are organizing in Japan with Seoul and more. I haven't heard anything on that front yet, but it could it's still early in 2026,
That's
and I
true.
hope it happens because that would really um, put Asia, Southeast Asia in the spotlight a bit more.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I was participating in Korea in another race from the same event organizers, and they only put this Seoul race or Busan before in the APP, in the big international calendar, but they run a Korean tour with a few stops, and they are nicely organized, really like beautiful event sites and very good organized. And yeah, they don't have this I don't know, extremely high level athletes at the moment, but they are growing.
Yeah,
There are young girls, young boys coming, similar to Spain, but the older ones are a little bit missing. But anyway, it's good to race there, and they are full motivated. They have like a full stage with like proper organization, with media team, with everything. So I was really surprised how professional it was. So it was really cool.
absolutely. So was I. So was I last year.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and then you mentioned surfing. Every year there's a strong subsurf event organized by the APP World Tour. Thanks to forgot his name. The famous pro windsurf athlete who lives in Fuerteventura. Sorry, Gran Canaria. There's a big subsurf event at the end of the year, and
Uh,
that is attended by top SUP surfers
yeah, yeah, always.
and and SUP longboard surfers as well, and which is pretty pretty yeah, pretty successful every year.
Yeah.
So the APP World Tour is really reduced to that for now. Let's see if they actually come up with a major tour, because they are obviously for many years were the pioneers of the international SUP racing scene under the APP World Tour, but also under a different name at the very beginning, the Waterman League. I don't know if you remember that, Christian, with the likes of
Yes.
Kyle Lenny, Connor Baxter,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
you know,
sure.
and many Casper Stanfath and many other top names that unfortunately we don't
Absolutely.
see so much anymore.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No,
Uh,
no, this it's not new, you know. It's like going in circles more or less. Nah, it's changing, you know. It's and that's good, you know. So the sports is growing, and the sport is yeah, it's changing, but it's not dying. That's the main thing, you know. So everyone who is telling me the sport is not healthy or whatever, then you see this mass of events coming, you know, and everywhere in the world there are clubs popping up, and people are paddling and having fun and staying fit and training and so on. So that's good, and the federations are starting to take care. You know, I'm super happy that the European Surfing Federation is jumping on that and
yeah.
organizing something, because this was completely missing in the last years. You know, they were like having the, I don't know, the political card, you know, in their hands, and they did not use it in real, you know. So they did not, I don't know, organize events properly for people to join, you know, and grow in the sport. So this is really cool. I like it.
Absolutely. Christian, we haven't really fully detailed the ICF, and I think it would be a little bit unfair not to give a shout out to the ICF. Obviously, it's a major circuit. I would say equally big in terms of size, probably bigger actually, because those events, some of them have been going on for many years. So the ICF circuit is going to be very strong this year, with some novelties. We are starting this weekend in the at the Spring SUP Race in Comacchio, Italy. I mentioned that. So 26th to 29th of March, we're going to have one thing you need to know about the Spring SUP Race is this year we're not going to have the sprints. We're going to have a chrono race, which is a fun race, but we won't have the sprints that we had last year. Personally, I thought
Yeah.
that worked really well. We
Yeah,
remember that Andre Fleischer.
many athletes are sad about that, because they really love the sprints, and there are not so many sprints which are made properly, you know, during a season. And actually, there are many athletes who really like to sprint and this race format.
Yeah.
So they are sad about that. They do not run it anymore at the Spring SUP race. So I don't know. Maybe they come back next year with the sprint format. Let's see.
I hope so. I hope so. There's going to be a chrono SUP race, which is an unofficial event, a fun event, and there's a bit of prize money for only for the winner, the male and female winner, not for the podium, but just for the winner. So that's on the Friday afternoon. And then we have technical race and long distance, and it's all going to be on the lake. Every year we ask the question: are we going to go on the ocean side or seaside? Which is only 400 meters away from that lake, in Lago delle Nazioni, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I was racing on the in the one of or some of the first events, and they were running the long distance race on the sea. But it was tough. It was always a problem, because you got these onshore winds, you got these massive waves, you know, you got current, and so it's not easy. And when you like aim for a mass participation, like many people are going and age groups and everyone, you know, then it starts to be really selective there, and it's dangerous, you know, it's getting dangerous. So that's why I can understand why they moved to the lake. And this is actually a really nice venue, you know. And last year it was also not easy. The year before also not, because it was very windy. But you still have this, you know, security to be on a wave, you know, on a wave on the lake, and you don't have waves and current and whatever, you know, and need some, I don't know, boats which are made to use it in these conditions, you know, to get the security there. So
if you remember, I wasn't very happy on that boat and in the long distance last year. It was cold.
Yeah.
The wind was really gnarly. Some athletes really had problems. They were being pushed away to the shores of the lake,
Yeah.
uh, stranded in the
But
middle of the bamboo
yeah,
trees
yeah.
and so on. I mean, it
I
was
know, but
pretty
still,
bad.
still not dangerous. You know, when you are at the sea and you get these conditions, then it's like it's getting dangerous. You know, that's why I
You're
can
right.
totally understand when you run a big event like that with so many participants in different age groups at the lake and not at the sea close by. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it could be. I don't know
and
exactly. You
and it's
know,
a big
with
event
this,
with. Sorry,
yeah, we
sorry,
can.
Christian, carry on.
It just came in my mind that actually we will have the same situation this year at the ICF Worlds. You know, we have this lake, we have the sea close by. So let's see how they decide. You know, I might be, you know, when you like have this big group of paddlers, might be also good to have all events at the lake. But also, you know, could be nice to have a deck race in the waves somehow. You know, yeah, it's always like a up and
Yeah,
down. You know, let's see
yeah. You're talking about
how they
the
decide. The ICF Worlds in Italy.
in Sabaudia, which is
Yeah.
an hour and a half away from Rome, which
Yes.
is a new location introduced only recently by the ICF
Yes.
as a new venue following kind of a disaster which happened in Taormina in Sicily,
Absolutely.
where the ICF SUP Wars 2026 were supposed to take place. There was a big winter storm which basically destroyed the venue, the
Yes.
venue equipment and yeah,
Yeah,
and
super sad
setup.
because it
So
would have been a very nice venue there for sure. But Sabaudia is also a beautiful place, and they are also very used to a lot of paddlers and events. So actually, it's a well-known canoe place, and yeah, it's good. I think it will be good. Good facilities
I
there
think it's
and
going to be great.
everything. Yeah,
All
but
right, let's see if
anyway,
we reach the numbers of Thailand for in terms of
yeah,
attendance. Everybody last year was really talking about Sicily as like everybody wanted
yeah, I
to
think
go
so.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It's
that
still
won't change much.
still Ital still Italy, you know, still
Yeah,
Italia, bella Italia. So
ciao
I think
ragazzi.
it's yeah. So might be still the same effect, you know, that everyone wants to go there. And for the Europeans, actually, it's easy to go there. You know, just hop in the car and drive for 2 days or
Yeah,
one day or whatever, you
continental.
know. But you can drive there, and this makes it much easier to transport boards and so on. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it was easy in Thailand because most of the boards are produced here, but in Europe it's nice to just drive your car and then you're done, you know. So yeah,
yeah,
might be a good thing. But Mathieu, let's do it. Let's do this full ICF story and about the racing in a separate
yeah.
in the next podcast because we had a lot to talk about the ISA already.
Okay.
We covered the full European SUP League thing, which is amazing, and we look really hard forward to the participation of these events you talked about. Also, we want to see you talking in the live stream. Hopefully, it will happen. We see some very good shots from the three different disciplines at every event there, and so we can crown a European champion this year in the ISA, which is really amazing. I really like it.
Okay. Christian, are you saying I'm talking too much? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was perfect. You know, you have so much knowledge
No.
about these events already because you're involved in all these things. So it's perfect for everyone who wants to see behind the scenes, you know, to see, okay, this is happening, that's happening, and what's the thinking behind these organizations, you know, to like grow something new and to crown a European champion out of this league and so on. So it's really cool, and also the fact that you can just jump in and participate as a European, a participant or athlete from around the world. You can just go there and sign in and race, you know, against the best, but also in the age group. So it's really, yeah, it sounds perfect to me, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's do that in another podcast. I mean, this was a test, so thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you, Christian, for being my co-host. And yeah, let's wish each other a lot of success with this new format. Let's see
Yeah,
what the top community has to say about this. Please make suggestions. We're probably going to have guests on a regular basis also
absolutely.
in this podcast. And the idea is to basically, take a topic and have a nice conversation and
Yes.
share what's our knowledge about this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christian. One last word from you.
Yeah, just send us a name, for our podcast, suggestions for a name, and you can also just write us a message if you want to be like part of it, if you want to participate, if you have something to tell, it's always interesting to have guests, and might be you that you have that you are the next time in the next episode live here at the podcast for everyone.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess see you on the water, guys.
Hey, see you.